NIO's CEO and founder, William Li, believes this shift is permanent. NIO, one of Tesla's strongest competitors in China's electric vehicle (EV) market, has been betting on this new consumer behavior. On August 9, 2021, NIO's stock price bounced back by 3.1% after a steep decline the previous month. With all its sales currently in China, NIO is eyeing global expansion. Many investors and analysts are watching closely to see if NIO can follow in Tesla's footsteps to become a major global player. Tesla may lead the EV market, but the competition is fierce, and NIO has introduced a unique offering, Battery as a Service, BaaS. This service, launched in 2020, allows NIO car buyers to purchase a vehicle without the battery, significantly reducing the car's price by over $10,834. The savings make NIO's EVs more affordable and competitive, even compared to traditional gasoline-powered cars. Moreover, by supporting battery swapping, NIO's cars qualify for Chinese government subsidies, which aim to accelerate the transition to EVs. These subsidies are available for EVs priced below $46,400, further boosting NIO's market position. The role of EVs in addressing climate change has been at the forefront of global discussions for the last 2 decades, with a significant focus on reducing carbon emissions. The transportation sector, responsible for about 1/5 of global carbon emissions, plays a crucial role in this effort. Within this sector, road transport alone accounts for 3/4 of these emissions, which equals about 15% of the world's total carbon dioxide, CO2, emissions. Electric vehicles, EVs, emerged as a reliable solution to reduce these emissions, as they don't rely on fossil fuels and other carbon-emitting energy sources. The rise of electric vehicles. Although EVs have been around for decades, it wasn't until the early 2000s that governments and automakers began promoting them as a key technology to reduce oil consumption and combat climate change. This promotion led to a gradual increase in demand, culminating in 2010 with the launch of the Nissan Leaf, the first modern, all-electric, 5-door family hatchback aimed at the mass market. The following decade saw the emergence of several startups focused on manufacturing EVs, with Tesla quickly becoming the market leader. As the market grew, traditional auto manufacturers also began to shift their focus to EVs, introducing new all-electric models across various consumer categories. Global growth and market expansion. The growth of EV sales has been impressive, skyrocketing from just 17,000 units in 2010 to 2.1 million by 2019. Notably, China has been leading this growth, accounting for 47% of global EV sales. The global EV market is expected to reach 125 million vehicles by 2030, and many traditional auto manufacturers have started pivoting exclusively toward EV production. For instance, General Motors has set a target to stop selling new gasoline-powered cars and light trucks by 2035, and Volvo aims to transition to a hybrid and all-electric lineup by 2030. The challenge of battery waste. While EVs are positioned as a solution to reduce the environmental impact of transportation, they come with their own set of challenges, particularly regarding the batteries they use. The materials in these batteries are often toxic and rare. By 2025, an estimated 250,000 metric tons of EV lithium-ion batteries will reach the end of their useful life in vehicles. However, even after they are no longer viable for EVs, these batteries can still retain 70 to 80% of their capacity, making them suitable for other uses. The importance of battery recycling and reuse. Finding ways to extend the life of EV batteries through recycling and reuse is crucial for making EVs more sustainable. Reusing these batteries can slow down the resource cycle and contribute to sustainable development and the circular economy. In a circular economy, capturing the value left in a product after its initial use is essential. However, individual EV owners and taxi companies, the primary consumers of EVs, have little incentive to recycle these batteries. For manufacturers, managing battery recycling is a complex task that requires coordination with multiple agencies for collection, servicing, and recycling. In 2020, it was estimated that only 5% of EV batteries were recycled globally. Industry and government responses. Governments have recognized the need for sustainable battery management and have begun regulating manufacturers to ensure their products' environmental sustainability. In response, many EV companies have developed strategies to address the battery waste problem. For example, Nissan has repurposed old batteries from its Leaf cars to power automated guided vehicles in its factories. Similarly, Volkswagen opened a recycling plant in Salzgitter, Germany, capable of recycling up to 3,600 battery systems annually. Research suggests that lithium-ion batteries could have a profitable second life as backup storage for grid-scale solar photovoltaic installations, where they could operate for a decade or more in less demanding roles. Companies like Nissan and Renault have already begun reusing batteries for household energy storage, with solar panels in the UK being a primary market. Additionally, third-party entrepreneurs are entering the second-life battery market. For instance, Re-Electrify, an Australian company, has introduced battery management systems that extract more value from used batteries, facilitating their transition into residential solar storage. The ongoing challenge of battery waste management. Despite advancements in technology for battery reuse, the economic and regulatory frameworks still lack the necessary infrastructure and incentives for efficient battery recycling. As of 2021, the global capacity for recycling EV batteries stood at 180,000 metric tons. In contrast, the number of EVs introduced in 2019 alone could generate 500,000 metric tons of battery waste. This disparity highlights the significant climate risk posed by battery waste, which could undermine the circular economy benefits of EVs in the long run. The future of EVs and the circular economy. As the EV market continues to grow, addressing the challenges of battery waste and recycling is crucial for the long-term sustainability of this technology. Companies like NIO, with its battery-as-a-service model, are taking innovative steps to align with the circular economy and ensure that EVs remain a viable solution in the fight against climate change. However, the industry must continue to evolve, with greater collaboration between manufacturers, governments, and third-party organizations to develop comprehensive solutions for battery management and recycling. The EV market in China, a dominant force. China's electric vehicle (EV) market is a significant player on the global stage, with demand and sales volume surpassing all other nations. In 2020, China accounted for 41% of all EVs sold worldwide, cementing its position as the largest EV market. The Chinese government has been actively promoting EV adoption across both small and large cities, aiming to peak carbon emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. This ambitious goal reflects the country's commitment to combating climate change. However, the demand for EVs in China has been primarily concentrated in large cities like Shanghai and Beijing, where populations exceed 5 million. The government's efforts to promote EVs have been multifaceted, including offering subsidies, tax waivers, and installing extensive charging infrastructure. Additionally, the government implemented licensing policies to limit the number of petrol cars on the road, using a car plate lottery system with winning rates as low as 1% or below. This strategy effectively pushed consumers toward EVs. Challenges and consumer behavior. Despite the government's push, consumers in smaller cities have been slower to adopt EVs. The higher cost of EVs compared to traditional vehicles has been a significant deterrent. For instance, a standard 5-seater fuel-based car like the Nissan Altima costs around $34,150 US, whereas an EV like the Tesla Model X is priced at approximately $89,900 US, more than double. This price gap has made EVs less attractive to many potential buyers. However, analysts predict that China will continue to dominate the global car market, including EVs, with over 70% of new car sales expected to come from China by 2030. Chinese consumers have shown a strong preference for SUVs, especially from global luxury brands like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi. Tesla, focusing on both mass market and luxury cars, has emerged as the undisputed leader in the Chinese EV market, accounting for about 51% of EV sales in early 2020. NIO, another key player, captured 16% of the market during the same period, targeting the luxury segment. NIO a rising star in the EV market. NIO, founded by Chinese entrepreneur William Li in Shanghai in November 2014, has become a significant player in the EV market. Li, who grew up in a low-income family in a rural province, worked his way through various part-time jobs before launching his first successful venture, the auto information website BitAuto, in 2000. This venture eventually led to a $127 million IPO on the New York Stock Exchange in 2010. Believing in the potential of the EV market, Li established NIO with a vision of a future filled with blue skies. A vision reflected in the company's Chinese name, Wei Lai, meaning blue sky coming. NIO quickly attracted top-grade investors, including Tencent, Temasek Holdings, Sequoia, Lenovo, and TPG, and Li was often dubbed the Elon Musk of China. NIO's journey. From challenges to success. NIO's first EV product was a sports car named EP9, which gained popularity for its attractive design, high performance, and cutting-edge technology. This success motivated NIO to launch its first mass-produced model, the ES8, a luxury 7-seater SUV, in 2017. Without its own manufacturing plant, NIO collaborated with state-owned Zhongwei Automobile Group Co. to produce its vehicles. By 2018, NIO had captured 19% of the Chinese EV market and went public on the NYSE, raising $1.8 billion in September 2018. However, NIO faced significant challenges in 2019. The Chinese government began pulling back subsidies for EV manufacturers, which, combined with the departure of key executives and vehicle recalls, severely impacted NIO's business. The company's shares plummeted from an IPO high of $6.26 in 2018 to a low of $2 in 2019. A major setback occurred when NIO recalled nearly 5,000 of its ES8 SUVs due to battery fires, which exposed a vulnerability in the car model and hurt investor confidence. The road to recovery and global expansion. To overcome these difficulties, NIO sought additional funding and found a new lifeline when the local government of Hefei agreed to invest $1.08 billion in the company. This investment led to the establishment of a joint venture manufacturing unit with state-controlled automaker Jack Motors in Hefei. The deal also included plans for an EV industry park called NIO Park, designed to produce 1 million cars annually. Following this partnership, NIO quickly recovered from its slump. In the first quarter of 2021, NIO's vehicle sales generated $1.1 billion in revenue, a 490% increase from the first quarter of 2020 and a 20% increase from the previous quarter. With renewed momentum, NIO began expanding globally, establishing teams in the US and Europe. In May 2021, NIO entered Norway, its first international expansion, targeting Europe's second-largest EV market after China. NIO's strategy includes establishing battery swapping stations and offering battery-as-a-service (BaaS) solutions, just as it does in China. By 2022, NIO aims to expand into 5 more European countries, with a target demand of 95,000 vehicles annually. This expansion is supported by subsidies in the European market, aligning with the region's commitment to climate change and providing NIO with a solid foundation for growth. Understanding battery swapping in the electric vehicle (EV) industry is not a novel idea. Over the years, the industry has experimented with various solutions to address the high costs associated with charging and replacing EV batteries. The concept first gained attention in 2007 with an Israeli startup called Better Place, which introduced a system allowing customers to switch their batteries at fully automated stations using a membership card. By 2013, Tesla also tried its hand at this technology, offering a swapping station where consumers could drive in and replace their batteries. However, these early attempts, particularly in the US, did not gain traction. American consumers, who valued the convenience of home and public chargers, found the swapping concept less appealing. Both Better Place and Tesla eventually discontinued their swapping initiatives, realizing that building a widespread network of stations was not feasible with minimal consumer demand. Challenges in battery swapping adoption in China. The concept of battery swapping had already been tested in several cities for both personal and commercial vehicles before NIO, a prominent EV manufacturer, launched its version. However, even in China, where swapping stations were designed to mimic the experience of gas stations, several issues prevented widespread adoption. Most swapping stations were concentrated in large cities like Beijing, and the cost of installing each station was prohibitively high, around $500,000. Moreover, the lack of standardization across different EV brands meant that owners could only swap batteries at their respective brand stations. Despite these hurdles, battery swapping presented several advantages. It helped reduce peak electricity consumption by enabling centralized charging, which prevented grid overload during mass EV charging. Additionally, empty batteries could be recharged during off-peak hours when electricity was cheaper. The process of swapping was also quick, typically taking just a few minutes, and when offered as part of a battery as a service (BaaS) model, it could reduce the risks associated with inefficient battery disposal. NIO's strategic move with BaaS addressing battery costs. NIO recognized early on that the cost of batteries was a significant barrier to the adoption of EVs, especially when competing against traditional fuel-powered vehicles. By removing the battery cost from the purchase price of their vehicles, NIO could offer a more attractive pricing model to consumers. This move also aligned with the circular economy principles and supported China's goal of having 1 in 5 vehicles powered by non-fossil fuels by 2025. Innovative battery technology. NIO's batteries were manufactured using cell-to-pack technology, which resulted in an energy density about 37% higher than conventional battery packs. These batteries were also lighter and required 40% fewer components. NIO further enhanced battery performance through a cloud-based battery management system that monitored the batteries, included features like thermal propagation prevention, and made smart adjustments based on environmental conditions. For consumers who purchased a NIO vehicle with the battery, the company offered lifetime free battery swap services and up to 6 free power services per month for out-of-town use. Integrated power solutions to cater to different consumer needs. NIO developed a comprehensive power solution consisting of 4 key services: Power Home, a home charging solution; Power Swap, a battery exchange service at swapping stations; Power Mobile, a mobile charging service provided through on-call service trucks; and Power Express, a 24-hour on-demand pickup and drop-off charging service. NIO vehicles were also compatible with China's extensive public charging network, which included over 214,000 charging piles, 59.6% of which were superchargers. Challenges with home charging. While NIO offered home charging solutions, the infrastructure in China posed a challenge. Most of NIO's customers lived in large cities and high-rise condominiums, where it was difficult to install home charging points. As a result, NIO realized that to attract more customers, they needed to emphasize the option of charging EV batteries at swapping stations. The Chinese government also supported this initiative by launching a scheme in 2020 to promote the establishment of swapping stations, aiming to reduce pollution from fuel-based vehicles. The evolution and impact of NIO BaaS subscription model and cost benefits. In early 2020, NIO introduced a subscription plan for its battery services, allowing consumers to purchase vehicles without the battery. This reduced the purchase price of NIO vehicles by over $10,834. Under this subscription model, customers would pay a monthly fee of $152 to lease a battery and gain access to free charging and swapping services. The services were managed through a mobile internet-based solution, overseeing an extensive network of battery charging and swap facilities. Growth of swapping stations. NIO's journey with battery swapping began in 2018 when they opened their first swapping station. It took some time for this service to gain traction among consumers, but by October 2020, NIO had completed 1 million battery swaps, and by May 2021, the number had doubled to 2 million. By June 2020, NIO had built 135 swap stations across 59 cities in China, though this was still far below their original goal of 1,100 stations by 2020. The slow expansion was attributed to a cash flow crisis in 2019, which was later resolved through a deal with the local government of Hefei. Key features of BaaS. NIO's BaaS model was built on several key factors. First, the battery swaps at the stations were fast, taking just 3 to 5 minutes compared to 75 minutes for a full charge at a supercharger. Second, the service was cost-effective, offering 6 swaps a month in the subscription plan, which provided about 1,500 miles of range at a cost of 10 United States cents per mile, slightly cheaper than using Tesla's superchargers. Third, battery swapping encouraged customers to upgrade to more advanced battery packs as they became available, helping to preserve the car's performance and resale value while addressing concerns about battery degradation. NIO had also standardized its battery sizes, ensuring compatibility between new batteries and older vehicles. Revenue generation and market expansion. BaaS provided NIO with 2 revenue streams: monthly recurring revenue from battery service subscriptions and additional income from upgrade requests for newly launched batteries. By early 2021, around 40% of NIO owners had opted for battery subscriptions. With approximately 75,500 Cordoba Oros EVs on the road, analysts estimated that the subscription service generated about $4.5 million United States dollars in monthly recurring revenue, or $54 million United States dollars annually. This figure was expected to grow as NIO expanded production, increased subscription penetration among existing consumers, and grew its network of swap stations. Future prospects. In July 2021, NIO unveiled its ambitious NIO Power 2025 feet plan, aiming to expand its BaaS initiative further. By that time, NIO had completed 301 battery swapping stations across China, with plans to reach 3,000 stations by 2025. As NIO continues to innovate and expand its BaaS model, it is poised to play a significant role in the future of the EV industry, both in China and beyond. Competition. Tesla versus NIO. When comparing NIO to Tesla, it's evident that NIO was a much smaller company in several critical aspects: market capitalization, market share, global presence, and production capacity. However, despite its smaller size, NIO's stock had garnered considerable attention from media and analysts worldwide. Since its IPO, NIO's stock had experienced significant volatility, mirroring the trends seen with Tesla. For instance, NIO's stock price surged from $3.27 in May 2020 to an impressive $61.95 by January 2021. Tesla, on the other hand, saw even more dramatic gains, with its stock price increasing from $49.58 in October 2019 to $439.67 by October 2020, and further reaching $880.02 by January 2021. As of August 2021, Tesla's market capitalization stood at a staggering $715.35 billion, while NIO's was much smaller at $67.88 billion. Despite being 1/9 the size of Tesla and having nearly faced bankruptcy in 2019, NIO had shown remarkable resilience. The company posted impressive year-over-year delivery growth, 190% in the second quarter, 154% in the third quarter, and 111% in the fourth quarter of 2020. This growth was a testament to NIO's potential in the highly competitive EV market. Tesla's advantage, however, lay in its massive manufacturing capacity. The company owned 4 operational factories located in Fremont, Nevada, New York, and Shanghai. Tesla's global production increased by 39.6% year-over-year, reaching 509,737 units by 2020. This success was driven largely by the surge in EV demand in China, where the economy rebounded quickly from the COVID-19 pandemic, and an expanding market in the United States. Tesla's strategy to manufacture vehicles locally in China at its Shanghai plant, starting in 2019, helped the company reduce costs and increase profitability in the Chinese market. By 2020, Tesla had delivered 137,000 EVs in China and recorded a 28.3% increase in revenue, amounting to $31.5 billion. In contrast, NIO operated only 1 factory with an annual capacity of around 90,000 vehicles. The company delivered 36,721 vehicles in 2020 but had plans to increase its manufacturing capacity to 240,000 vehicles per year by 2021. Supercharger network versus battery as a service. BaaS, Tesla's extensive supercharger network was a critical component of its competitive strategy. Setting up a supercharger station was less costly than establishing a battery swapping station, with costs ranging from $100,000 to $175,000 per station. By 2020, Tesla had installed 6,000 supercharging stations in China and more than 20,000 globally. However, despite these impressive numbers, analysts argued that Tesla's charging infrastructure was still insufficient, especially considering that over 1.2 million Tesla vehicles were on the road worldwide. Owners in high-density areas frequently faced long lines at charging stations due to high demand, with each charging session taking an average of 45–50 minutes. In contrast, NIO's battery as a service, BaaS, was seen by many industry analysts as a powerful competitive strategy. Battery swaps were not only faster than recharging but also enabled NIO to offer vehicles at a lower upfront cost by selling the battery as a subscription service. Additionally, battery swaps provided fully charged batteries that could last for a longer range, about 380 miles, compared to a 45-minute recharge at a Tesla supercharger, which provided about 228 miles of range. Both Tesla and NIO offered 100 kWh battery packs, but NIO planned to introduce 150 kWh battery packs by 2022, which could further reduce charging costs and enhance the appeal of its BaaS model. Tesla, however, was also working on reducing battery costs, albeit through a different approach. The company aimed to produce lithium-ion batteries in-house at half the cost of its existing batteries, with an annual production capacity of 100 gigawatt-hours, sufficient for 1.4 million EVs, by 2022. Tesla was also strengthening its partnerships with battery suppliers and sourcing materials directly to lower battery costs. The future of autonomous vehicles and market competition. Tesla and NIO both recognized the future potential of autonomous vehicles. Tesla was actively working on launching fully autonomous cars, believing that this was the future direction of the automotive industry. Similarly, NIO had partnered with artificial intelligence (AI) chipmaker NVIDIA to accelerate its progress toward building autonomous cars. Despite Tesla's substantial lead, analysts believed that regulators were unlikely to favor a monopoly in the EV market. Smaller companies like NIO could benefit from regulatory controls that would prevent any one company from dominating the market. In China, government strategies aimed at fostering internal competition and significantly lowering EV prices could further challenge Tesla's growth in the future. Overall, market competition in the EV sector was expected to remain intense, with ample opportunities for new and existing players to capture market share. This scenario presented a promising outlook for companies like NIO, as well as new entrants planning to join the EV market. Battery technology, a possible game changer? In addition to its innovative BaaS strategy, NIO had also diversified its business to remain competitive in the market and stand against Tesla. In 2018, NIO introduced two new business ventures, NIO House and NIO Life. NIO House was a concept store that offered home design products that complemented NIO cars, allowing owners to immerse themselves in the NIO lifestyle. Similarly, NIO Life was an e-commerce mobile app that sold NIO-branded lifestyle products, aimed at expanding the company's brand philosophy. Since its launch, NIO's online store had attracted over 500 designers worldwide, developed 813 new products, and sold them to over 2.8 million customers in China. Despite these efforts, it was NIO's BaaS that attracted the most media attention and was hailed as an innovative concept and the firm's unique selling point in the competitive EV market. However, some analysts argued that while NIO's BaaS and large-scale implementation of swapping stations could provide an immediate market advantage, it might not offer long-term competitive sustainability. This concern was primarily due to the rapid evolution of battery technology, which was expected to dramatically reduce charging times in the near future. Electric vehicles, EVs, with lithium-ion batteries were expected to be replaced by vehicles with lithium iron phosphate and other advanced technologies that could cut costs, extend vehicle ranges to 400 miles or more between charges, and enable batteries to last as long as 1,000,000 miles. As EV ranges increased, they were expected to become more practical and offer a better value proposition, especially since the batteries could retain resale value and outlast the cars they were originally sold with. This shift aligned with the goals of governments and industries to move toward a circular economy. Furthermore, advancements in EV technology could potentially make electric vehicles as affordable as those powered by gasoline, eliminating the cost barrier that currently exists. However, analysts expressed concerns about NIO's battery swapping strategy, pointing out that setting up swapping infrastructure was costly and needed to fulfill long-term consumer needs to be viable. Given the rapid pace of battery technology advancements, it seemed unlikely that swapping stations would remain relevant over the long term. Conclusion: the road ahead for NIO's journey in the EV market has been marked by innovative strategies and rapid growth. However, as the company looks to the future, it faces several strategic dilemmas. The battery swapping model, while offering immediate benefits, may not be sustainable in the long run due to the fast pace of battery technology advancements. NIO must carefully consider whether to continue investing in its BaaS infrastructure or shift its focus toward developing cutting-edge battery technology that could keep it competitive against industry giants like Tesla. Moreover, as the EV market continues to evolve, NIO has opportunities to explore other strategies that could set it apart from its competitors. Whether through further diversification of its product offerings or by leveraging its existing strengths, NIO must navigate a complex and rapidly changing landscape. The future of NIO, and indeed the entire EV industry, will depend on how well companies like NIO can adapt to these changes and continue to innovate. The coming years will be crucial for NIO as it seeks to solidify its position in the global EV market and compete with established players like Tesla.